The hour of Jesus' death is closing in on him. He's gathered with his disciples for a meal. He's already washed the feet of the disciples, and in the midst of this meal that follows the foot washing, which in John takes place on the evening prior to Passover, Jesus reveals that one of them sharing in the meal will betray him. Peter and the beloved disciple want to know who Jesus is speaking of. Who would do such a thing? Surely not them. I'm wondering if they are asking the question because they're not sure if Jesus means them. All that Jesus will say is that the one to whom he gives the bread dipped in the dish. What is in the dish? We're not told. Is it wine or oil or some other part of the traditional meal? We don't know. But whatever it is, Jesus gives the bread to Judas Iscariot, says something to him, and Judas leaves. The other disciples aren't sure what it is that Jesus has said. Now, they have their theories, but they think nothing of it. Could it be that they're still wondering if Jesus could be speaking of them? As is so often true with Jesus, the story of the betrayal is a complicated one. Judas is going to do a dirty deed, but is it necessary? We have word here that Jesus' spirit is troubled, but why? Is he concerned about his own death or Judas's betrayal? If his concern is with Judas, is it because of what the betrayal leads to? Or is it because he loves Judas and can't bear to see Judas suffer like this? These have been the questions for many years, and it is difficult to make sense of Judas's betrayal. Why would someone who knew Jesus so well do this? Of course, John says that Satan led him to do this, but does this get Judas off the hook? After all, he was playing with fire. Besides, what would have happened had Judas not acted as he did? Where would that lead the rest of history? After all, Jesus himself says the betrayal leads to him being glorified and then God through him. So in the end, everything else works out, right? But are we any better? Do we turn from the light and into the darkness? We let our temptations consume us. We let our passions drive us. We put selfishness before sacrifice, and sometimes we sell out like Judas and don't even know we've done it. The questions keep coming. After all, it's only Wednesday. We still have much to discover about this whole thing. But as we consider these passages along the way to Good Friday and Easter, it is fitting to ask what they say to us. In what ways am I a betrayer? We like to defame Judas, but is there some of Judas in each of us? And if we say no, are we deceiving ourselves? This kind of self-examination can prove rather self-defeating. We can easily adopt the view that we are of little value to God or anyone else. So yes, there is some of Judas in us. But there's also a bit of Peter and the beloved disciple, Thomas and Mary Magdalene. And yes, we do need the courage of Mary. We can also take heart in the sense that Jesus loved Judas, even if he was the betrayer. No one, it would seem, is beyond redemption.